What if your bookkeeping doesn't need an overhaul right now? If the thought of touching your books or setting them up brings dread, shame, or that I'm behind yet again feeling, this episode is going to be for you, because today we're taking the pressure all the way off and I'm going to show you the most supportive ways to reconnect with your numbers before the year ends without forcing yourself into a task or a cleanup that you just don't have the capacity for. So let's get to it. If we haven't met yet, I'm Amy Sorka, money confidence coach and bookkeeper, and over the last 13 years, I've helped over 1,250 women get out of survival mode and make money simple so they can feel safe, clear, and confident with their finances, no shame, no restriction, and definitely no giving up your coffee to get there. So, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. We are talking really this month about how we are creating more rest, removing the pressure from ourselves and our businesses, because there's so many more obligations right now, and today is going to be no exception. Today we're driving into the bookkeeping portion of this, like one focus here for your bookkeeping. If you've missed several of the other episodes, I would check those out as well. They don't necessarily build, they're just focusing on different areas. So finish this one first and then go back. We've talked about decision making. We've talked about your business finances, the number one thing that you need to increase your cash flow. In December, we talked about your personal finances. And then of course today we are talking about bookkeeping and your books in general, because end of the year, January, February, it's objectively worse. It feels worse, right? It's because the pressure is louder. We're at the end of the year, you've got to get these things done. People are going into reflection mode. You start to feel that tax season is coming. There's comparison setting in, and then expectations. Do you have this done? Do you have this? And if you have a bookkeeping software, because maybe you've avoided that step and we're using an Excel spreadsheet, but opening your bookkeeping software can feel like a threat. It's like a no. It's not just not a big deal task. We feel no, right? Before we go any further today, I want you to know you're not behind. You're human, and your body, your nervous system is protecting you. Now, granted, it's protecting you from what it thinks is a tiger, and really it's a little kitty cat, but we're going to work on all of that. Your body is not sabotaging you. You haven't failed, you haven't messed anything up, and you're definitely not alone in this, because so many people deal with this. You're not alone if you are just I cannot figure this out. I don't want to have to deal with it. Let me just avoid it until tax season comes, and then we're YouTubing videos trying to figure this out, right? But here's the thing. That overwhelm state that we're getting into, that's not the place that we go into and hey, we're going to catch up our books and we're going to get it figured out. So instead of giving you a big task list or a generic rule, I want to offer you 4 grounded options that you can choose from, what feels in alignment for you today or right now. There's no shame, and of course, as always, no pressure from me. We need to, as I like to say, you've got this and I've got you. There's not pressure here. But before we dive into the 4 different options, I want to quickly segue here. If you're listening to this and realizing I don't want to do this anymore, it's not something that I want to figure out on my own. I would love support, but I also want to understand what I'm doing. I've got 2 ways for you to get help from me right now. So I am releasing a course, a step-by-step bookkeeping course for QuickBooks. Is the step-by-step. We'll get through all the bookkeeping principles, but QuickBooks Online will be the step-by-step for you. It is on pre-sale right now. So if you want to keep your books in-house, you do it yourself, but you want to feel clear and calm and you want it to make sense. You don't want to have to be YouTubing, what the heck does this mean? How do I do this? This pre-sale is going to be the most affordable way to learn bookkeeping in a way that actually makes sense. And time again, I've had people who take other bookkeeping courses and then they come learn from me, because the way that I explain it It makes sense. Like, that is my zone of genius. I simplify things for you. So if you want to understand how to do this yourself, this is the best way to do that. I will walk with you step by step. There's going to be live coaching calls within the initial launch so we can do it together. You can learn how to do this calmly so you're not overwhelmed because you don't really know what to do. The other thing, second option, if you're like, I really just don't want to do this at all, right? Like, don't want to touch it all at all. So if you're feeling that pull to hand it off completely, you can fill out, it's a simple interest form, and we can explore together what it might look like for me to do your books directly. Again, whichever of those options feels most aligned, go for it. And if you want to fill out the interest form, we had that conversation, and you're like, wait, no, I want to do the pre-sale for Bookkeeping Simplified, then we'll go that way. All right. Those links will be in the show notes, but let's get into the 4 different options here, especially if you're feeling all of this pressure and overwhelm with your books and bookkeeping. First one, it's going to sound simple, but this is really powerful. Log in. Log in to your accounting software. You don't necessarily have to categorize. You don't have to clean anything up. Just open it and take a deep breath. I know it sounds really simple, but in this moment, you're going to remind your brain, you're going to tell your body, like, I'm okay, I'm safe, I can handle this in small doses. So when we go to take action later, that's going to be easier because we're going to work on this. And I would challenge you, like, once a week, every couple days, just open it up. Take a deep breath, then close it out. Second option, if you've got a little bit more, you're like, no, I can open it. Like, that feels good, Amy, I've got this. So then set a goal, categorize 30 days. Scan the recent month, not all of it, not the whole backlog, not all of the year, not why does my chart of accounts look like this, not why are the balances off. Categorize the expenses. So that'd be like a 30-day catch up. Option 3, maybe, and this could be instead of option 2 or in conjunction with option 2. Look at your P&L, reports, profit and loss statement. What is surprising on there? What is, that's probably not correct, categorized on there? What are some of the things, like, what does it look like? How do you feel looking at your report, profit and loss statement, year to date, okay? That'll probably give you an option, cash versus accrual. For 95% of my listeners, it's going to be cash. But you could try it. See which one. Like, does it look different? Because a lot of you probably won't have a difference in cash versus accrual. So look at the report. Option 4. We kind of hinted at this in the beginning. Get support. You were never meant to do this alone. And it's not a competence issue. Your bookkeeping and your books, it's not rocket science. Like, that's why I'm teaching the course, right? Like, it's a simple thing once you learn it, but it's not your zone of genius. It's not the best use of your time. And we're already, like, money is emotional, right? We talk about this all the time. Money is emotional, money is energetic, all of those things. And if we are working through your beliefs and your identities around money to help you take action in the ways that you need to take action within your business, to be in alignment, to rewrite those old stories, and to establish the systems that feel aligned, bookkeeping for a lot of people just becomes an extra thing that we're having to try and tackle. You're running a business, you're serving your clients, you're managing your home, you're holding everyone else, you're trying to take care of yourself. Not being your own bookkeeper is a really powerful move, unless you genuinely want to be. This is a very easy, low cost. It costs less than most people think. That's also why I price my packages the way that I do, to make it more attainable, because I know the value in this. If we can get you in the door, get you taken care of, this is one thing that you aren't trying to manage. You take off in your business. So this isn't about weakness, right? This is you staying in the CEO role that you were called to. And a side note here, this is not something AI can do well. Definitely not well. Like, even the AI within QuickBooks that's like built in can't figure these things out. You still have to have the human check in on it. Sure, we can create rules and categorization, but it's not something that you can just automate and hands off completely. You still need the human aspect. It has not gotten to that point yet. Maybe it will one day. And then we can go back and listen to this episode and laugh. But right now, you still need a human aspect. So that's making time to do it yourself, because putting it off yourself isn't going to work long term. We've got to work on this. Yes, we're taking a small step right now, but again, we got to take continual steps to improve. This isn't a long-term solution. This is the right now solution. Because we're not going to compound it and make it worse. This is like, stop making it worse, but then we got to make it better, right? So if you're like, I just don't want to do it. I don't want to do this alone anymore. Again, you got two options. Bookkeeping Simplified, that's going to be the DIY if you're tired of YouTubing and Googling and like, I think I've got this right, but don't let your CPA see the books because I don't really know that I'm actually doing this right. And that fear of the IRS showing up because what if you did it wrong and then you're audited and all those other things. Bookkeeping Simplified is going to break it down. There's no jargon. Well, we'll explain what some of the jargon is that you need to know. But there's no overwhelm. You're going to understand not just what to do, but why it works. And that's key there. Because we can look at the step by step and it'll tell us what to do. But if you know why you're doing the things that you're doing, every little thing that shows up isn't going to throw you off track. Because you understand the principles behind it, you're going to know what to do. And that confidence, if you're going to do it yourself, and your books is game changing. Game changing. Second path, let me support you directly. If you're like, yeah, you know what? I would love to stay in my own zone of genius. Like I am stretched too thin. Or maybe you're not stretched too thin. You're just like, I don't want to do this anymore. Then I've got a simple form that we'll fill out and we'll explore what it looks like for me to do the bookkeeping for you. And I start with the form to keep it very low barrier of entry. You fill out the form and then we can move forward. We can get on a call and talk about it. Don't worry, we'll have a conversation if we want to have a conversation. Lowest barrier of entry. Let's just start with an interest form so we can start to get on the same page together. Here's what I want you to leave. Here's what I want to leave you with though. Pick one of these four. You can pick multiple if you want, but pick at least one. And if it just feels like it's so much, it's way too much, fill out the form. Let me support you with your bookkeeping. Let's get on the right path together. Because when you figure this out, your clients are going to come faster, more. Because the frustration and the fear and the resentment tied up in your books is costing you cash flow in your business. I can guarantee it. All right, so we don't have to have perfect books though to rest. Take one step. Let's work on a relationship with money that's not stressing out your nervous system. Even if it was as simple as opening up the books. Don't underestimate the power and the rest that can actually come when you take those simple little steps. Rest is not the reward for finishing everything. It's what makes finishing possible. And that's why we want to prioritize this today. Very low lift and take the rest that you need. If you're ready for your bookkeeping to finally make sense, whether that's learning the step-by-step inside Bookkeeping Simplified, or you want me to help you stay in your expertise and scale that cash flow and take this off of your plate, both of those links for those options are in the show notes. So make sure to go check that out, take action, and rest when it comes to your books. And remember, you've got this. I've got you. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.